What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So today we are going to review a speaker until recently I've never heard of. This is the Heco Aurora 300. About 6 months ago, a user commented on my channel telling me to check these out. Told me they were the best thing since sliced bread and all that jazz, and he owned a pair. And that's not too uncommon. People generally believe what they own is the best thing in the world. So I didn't really pay any attention to it. And then I looked them up a couple of months ago, and I was like, holy crap, these things look really nice. And they were on sale. I think it's one of those speakers that's always on sale. $419. I bought these about 2 months ago, maybe 3 months ago for $419. They're still $419. So again, I think that's just the normal price. And I was pretty impressed for quite a few reasons. Let me go ahead and throw the main specs on screen so you guys can check that out. I'll take you through the speaker. So aesthetically, I think these are absolutely beautiful. And I do want to mention if these are too large, there is a smaller model called the Aurora 200 that is a little bit more affordable. But $419 ain't much. I think most people can afford this. The front baffle wraps up over the top. I think that is such a nice touch. And it's finished in a matte white paint. I really, really like that. The sides are finished in a really light wood vinyl that looks really, really nice together. This is a nice, clean, beautiful, modern aesthetic, and I love it. Around the back, we have two pairs of 5-way binding posts if you want to buy wire, buy amp, or whatever. I didn't do that. I just used the included jumpers. And let me just tell you what they sound like, guys. Let me tell you what they sound like. So I'm going to take you through the treble, mid-range, and bass so that you have a clear idea of what they sound like. But I think the most important thing is to tell you that I was emotionally engaged in the music. I enjoyed the experience. They put a smile on my face. I had fun with them. I didn't feel the need to critically analyze the treble or the mid-range or the bass. I didn't care about any of the technicalities, specifications, or abilities of the speaker. When I sat down in my listening chair, I just had a good time. And to me, that's what this hobby is all about. And this speaker does that so freaking well. I mean, I've had this for like 90 days now. They're mine. I bought them for myself. And I've been meaning to review these, but what keeps happening is I come here, I'm like, let me listen to a couple more songs real quick. And I swear, guys, I'm putting in 2, 3, 4 hour sessions on these speakers. I use them with a bunch of different amps. I used my Kinky Studio separates. I use the Thomas & Stereo Galleon, Emotiva TA2. These speakers, they don't care what's connected to them. They don't disappoint. They're going to sound fantastic no matter what. So what is that sound? So these gave me a lot of vibes similar kind of to the Bucard S400 original version. The first couple hundred units that were made before the minor crossover change, the darker pair. That's the pair I own. So you got a top end that's attack is a little bit on the smooth side. It's a little bit softened, so it's not going to irritate the ears at all. And the treble quantity, it's just a little bit pulled back. So I'm going to go ahead and call this on the darker side of neutral. This is a warmer speaker from top to bottom. Moving down to the mid-range, you're going to have a mid-range that gives a lot of, I guess you would call it simply like realism, emotional engagement, good tone, very cohesive, very natural sounding, very effortless. And it didn't matter what genre of music I listened to. There's some songs I usually skip on my system, no matter what speaker I have plugged in, because they're just not the best recordings. Smashing Pumpkins is a good example. Or if any of you guys listen to Japanese rock is like really hard on the ears. I almost never listen to that on my system. It's only in my car. These speakers, I don't care what music you throw at them. I don't care how bad the recording is or how good the recording is. They are simply going to convey beautiful sound to you that you're going to enjoy. And like I said, to me, that's what this hobby is all about. I mean, the last product I felt this way about was the Denafrips Ares II DAC. For $800, I could sit here and tell you what it did in the treble and the mid-range and the bass, but none of it mattered. The most important thing is that it had me plugged into the experience. I was emotionally engaged to the listening experience. I was feeling the music. I was enjoying the music. I was loving the hobby. I was enjoying my time. right? And that's what these speakers do. You know, I don't know how else to say it. Let me tell you about the bass real quick though. There's no mid-bass bump. I like that. I don't like it when speakers have a mid-bass bump. It makes them sound cheap. The bass is very linear, but it's very confident. It's very strong, especially if you put it up against the wall. I have speakers out in my room about 30 inches from the front baffle to the rear wall. But the bass was very confident, and if I moved it back an inch or two, holy crap. These are, for the budget category of under $500, I'm going to consider these top class for bass quantity. Bass quality was also very good. I didn't have any complaints. Look, I'm going to be super clear. I have zero complaints about this speaker. I love it. I love it a lot. However much you could love a speaker, that's how much I love this speaker. Sounds so good and just does what a speaker's supposed to do. Let me stop telling you what I think real quick. Let's do some comparisons to other speakers. And let me just say one thing though, real quick. Don't run out and buy these just because I told you I love them a ton. If you don't like speakers that are on the darker side of neutral, if you don't like a warmer sound, you're not going to like these. If you like the more analytical sound, if you like focal speakers, for example, these might not be for you, and that's okay. But if you like that warmer sound, you like that top end that is still open and has good clarity, but isn't going to assault your ears even the slightest. It's smooth enough to play bad recordings. This is going to be for you. Let's do a comparison. These versus the Triangle Bro 3s. They're similar in price, somewhat similar in dimensions and size. The Bro 3s are a little bit taller. These are a little bit deeper, but volumetrically speaking, they're nearly identical. The Triangle Bro 3 is going to be on the forward side of neutral. It's going to be a lot more energetic. The Aurora 300 is going to be on the darker side of neutral, but it's going to have a little bit better treble separation, believe it or not. Moving down to the mid-range, both speakers do a very good job at making the human voice sound very natural, organic, and real. I'm going to say they both have fantastic mid-ranges. Moving down to the bass, the Aurora 300 has stronger, more confident bass than the Triangle Pro 3. Both have similar quality of bass, so that's the difference. It's really this simple. You want the brighter, more energetic speaker, go for the Triangle. You want that smoother, more laid-back speaker that'll let you listen to any recording, any source, cheap amp, expensive amp, doesn't matter. Go for the Aurora 300. Let's see. What else can we compare this to? One of my favorite speakers that used to be about similar. It was the ELAC DBR62. I think it used to be $600. I think they're like $700 now. That's a more expensive speaker. Let me be clear. Listen to me, guys. This is better than the ELAC DBR62. I very rarely will tell you a cheaper product outperforms a more expensive product, but I just said it. When it's true, it's true. It is what it is. Usually, you get what you pay for, but in this specific comparison, this speaker, the Heco Aurora 300, outperforms the ELAC DBR62. The ELAC DBR62 has a treble region that is just ever so slightly on the forward side of neutral. It's open, it has good clarity. Both speakers have good clarity. This is just slightly on the darker side of neutral. The biggest difference is this though. The ELAC tweeter cannot compete with this tweeter. Even though the ELAC is a little bit more energetic in the DBR62, it can have some sibilance issues. This has no sibilance issues at all. So the treble is much better on the Aurora 300. Moving down to the mid-range, the ELAC and the Aurora both have fantastic mid-range. They're about both equally good. They're both on the warmer side, both very organic and natural sounding. No complaints about either one's mid-range. It's a push. Moving down to the bass, the ELAC DBR62 does have a bump in the mid-bass region, so its leading edges are going to have a lot of definition to them. Those guitar strings are going to sound very like real, somewhat like pushed forward in the recording and things like that. Whereas the Aurora 300 is going to have more linear bass, more powerful and confident overall. So bass quantity, the Aurora is going to take the edge. The ELAC DBR62 is going to be for that person that wants that boosted mid bass, but it's going to kind of roll off after that. It's not going to get very low. So let me see if there's a third speaker we can compare this to. It's $419, you know what I'm saying? It's an interesting price. Focal Cora 806s are $1,000. That wouldn't make sense. The Emotiva B1s, they're out of stock right now. They go on sale. Their price fluctuates. They're generally between $200 and $300. I'd rather have these. It's just that simple. The Emotiva B1 Plus is great. It's one of the best speakers under $300. A little bit of a V curve. Don't love that. This is not a V curve. The Aurora has a way better mid-range than the B1. The B1 has more energetic and forward treble that is very, very open and airy. where the Aurora is going to be, again, darker side of neutral. Both have good confident bass, but the Aurora being a larger speaker is going to give you more of a sense of effortlessness with its bass. So if you have the extra $100, I'd go for the Aurora 300 over the Emotiva B1 Plus all day long. I wasn't planning to do that comparison. It just kind of came out. But I hope I didn't just blow into the mic. Polk Reserve R100, that's $649. Similar sound, actually. So, and maybe that's why I love these speakers so much, because I loved the Polk Reserve R100. I still own them. That's another speaker I bought with my own money. They're more expensive, so by quite a bit. I mean, $419, $649, but the Polks do go on sale a little bit, not a whole lot though. So both have treble that is going to be a little bit smoother, not too energetic and things like that. Where the Polk Reserve R100 could be described a little dark or neutral, I would say no one would really call the Aurora 300 neutral. It's definitely on the slight darker side of neutral. The mid-range, again, both are going to be really similar here, actually. They both have very good warm mid-range that is very organic, natural, and real sounding, really good with male and female vocals. Moving down to the bass is where there starts to be a gap between the two. The Polk Reserve range is known to have very good bass, except for the R100. The R100 is the smallest one. It's just a 5 1/4 inch driver. It cannot compete with the Aurora 300 in terms of sheer bass power, performance, quantity, and output. So slight edge to the Aurora overall because of the bass. But the two speakers sound fairly similar. I wish there was a speaker that sounded very different I could compare it to. Probably be something like the Monitor Audio Bronze 50. That's probably the polar opposite of this thing. The Triangle Bro 3 is the polar opposite of this thing also, but I already did that comparison. I think that's enough, guys. I think that's enough. Before I wrap up this video, again, let me say, I believe this speaker is a hidden gem. What it could do at its price point is fantastic. I think if $420, give or take, is your max budget and you enjoy a speaker that is a little bit more laid back, I don't think you could do better. I really, really don't think you could do better. And again, just to be clear, I used 3 different amplifiers. I put them in 2 different rooms. They impressed the entire time. The only thing that breaks my heart is I'm probably going to sell them at some point because I can't keep every single speaker I have here. Sometimes I do though. I bought the Polk Reserve R100s like a year ago. I still have those. When I like a speaker enough, I keep it. So I might keep this. I don't know. I've cleared out a lot of space recently, so I do have the space. You know what? We're going to keep you. We're going to keep you for now. Yeah, this is a good speaker. If you have any questions, you can ask in the comments below. This YouTube channel does have a free Discord server. Feel free to hop in there. If you do hop in there, don't be a dick. We have moderators. They'll ban you. We don't care for your attitude. If you have a bad attitude or if you want to be toxic. Yeah, man, good speaker. Oh, I will say this. Yeah, Audio Advice is the only place you can get them. They are available on Amazon through Audio Advice. I had a little bit of an interaction with them when I was trying to buy these. I tried to get a discount. They said no, kind of bummed me out, but no big deal. They seem like cool people. I will say that, you know what I mean? I didn't start this channel to get shit for free or to get discounts, so it wasn't really a big deal. But my interaction with them, I've never bought anything from them aside from this, and they do seem pretty cool. So check them out. That's why their link is in the description. I'm pretty sure they're the master distributor for this speaker, but it is not an affiliate link. I don't use affiliate links. All right, guys, I've talked enough. Hidden gem, fantastic speaker, highly recommended. Until next time, later.